think we are.
We are here, sir.
Alrighty, what is up? Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Star Button Live, where we talk about news and gaming, anime, whatever the hell else we feel like talking about. I am your fill-in host this week, Rajan X, and let's go ahead and go with the panel. We actually got an extra one. The man behind the scenes actually joining us on camera this week. But to my right, I'm not sure how it's on video, but I'm assuming how it is. We got the main man who has, his name ain't Simmons, but he do be hustling. We got Hustle Simmons. How you doing? Good? And of course, we got our own Mr. Kyle Reese coming back to save John Connor, Mr. Time Traveling. How you doing?
Hello. Good to see everyone today.
And as I kind of like did the little preview, we got the main man, the magic behind the scenes, all this camera work, the transitions, anything you might see going on, and making sure it's working. We got Loon. What's going on, man?
What's up?
So real quick, like, I mean, how's everybody doing this week? We had a little break last week. We got a little recharge. How's everybody doing?
Doing pretty good. I'm working on a video for my YouTube, so check it out. Come soon.
Nice.
Doing solid. Just been playing the crap out of WWE.
Yeah, I've been playing the crap out of Rebirth, and I think I said last time we were playing, but I started up Final Fantasy 14 again, so I'm actually trying to level up through that.
Really? What are you on?
The one with the yeah, Final Fantasy 14. I'm finally playing that. I never actually played through to completion the original Realm Reborn, Heaven's Ward, anything like that. So I'm trying to actually play through, get to Endwalker before Dawn Trail comes out. So yeah, after I got out of Realm Reborn, it's gotten much better. Just leveling through that first version of the game is rough. I don't care what anyone says, but like once you get past that and it opens up, it's like way better.
Yeah, I tell everybody, if you can make it past a Realm Reborn story, you are well rewarded in that game. Like, it's so much better once you get past the Realm Reborn.
Or you can pay the $19 store skip.
Yeah,
you
can skip it.
You can do a boost. I'm not doing no boost. I ain't doing none of the other content. I gotta see everything because apparently, like the story has been good after getting out of Realm Reborn. Heaven's Ward has been great, so I want to see everything.
Heaven's Ward's story was ridiculously crazy.
Yeah, great.
I'm about halfway through that, but let's go on. Let's go. Our starting little quick question for the night. It's because obviously I'm stealing Mr. Tone's notes. You cannot be with us because he is working, so I didn't come up with any of this shit. So hopefully you enjoy the topics. But I guess I got some ones I sprinkled in that I was typing up before we start. So question for this evening, because we got a lot of the rumors and news coming out. It seems like in the near future we got the Switch Pro or Switch 2. Whatever you want to call it, Switch 8, Switch 4K, whatever the fuck they want to call it. And then we got the PS6, seeming like it's coming sooner than later. So the question is, for you to get your money's worth, how long should an actual console cycle last for it to be worth it? Let's go with that. Like, how do you feel? Like, how do you feel comfortable knowing you got to buy the next console after you've had your console? After you had, like, let's say you had your PS5 since it came out. Like, when are you gonna feel comfortable getting the PS6? And since we don't gotta learn too much, you want to start it off?
Yeah. The current console cycle, like what, 10 years? I think
something like that.
Something like that, right? Yeah, but it's
been about like thinking back when it's been about 6-7 years because I think I go back to when around the time the 360 PS3 came out. Because then in 2013 we had the Xbox One, and then we had the PS3, and then the Wii U was that 2012, whatever year that was. Yeah. And then we got obviously when we got the PS4, then we got the PS5 and Xbox Series X 2020. So we're looking about like now like 6-7 years.
So, but yeah, like so, how long has the PlayStation 5 been out?
November 2020.
Yeah, no.
Peak COVID times.
we need a little bit more time because when the 5 first came out, it had like a crazy delay because of the shipping issues, the scalpers, just a whole bunch of nonsense. So, but yeah, I think it needs a little bit more time to cook, in my opinion.
That's fair. I'm inclined to agree, especially because I think we got to at least get to that same 6-7 years. So, but I don't think Sony wants to wait till 2026, 27. Well, what you think, Hustle?
I agree. It's like it's got to be like at least like 6 or 7 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. I didn't get mine till like what 2020.
We got ours the same time. If I remember right, that was April 2021. So a few months after launch.
2021. So a few months after release, and a lot of people didn't get theirs until like what very recently still.
Yeah.
Because for like 2 years, at least solid 2 years, it was hard to get your hands on a PS5, right? I feel like those 2 years shouldn't count. We should just extend it another 2 years down the line. Because like, come on, who got to fully embrace the PS5 and get their hands on it? There's still people who are on the fence about getting one still. I'd say like 7 years is like good.
Loon, Tone saying we're running says it's like running 2 FPS. Maybe it's looking kind of choppy. I'm not sure if there's a latency thing or what's going on.
I'm gonna check it.
All right, cool. Yeah, V-Tone. Yeah, Pro already. None of us are ready. It's too quick for us to get a PS5 Pro or PS6. But I feel like we're gonna skip the Pro and go to a 6.
I mean, I think a Pro now is fine. It's been like 5-6 years. It's not like it's a new console generation or anything. It's just trying to open the options up for individuals that want to spend a little bit more money to run their games in a more optimized fashion. I think one of the bigger complaints people have had about this generation is that they don't feel like they've been getting like the value they had hoped for out of this generation. I feel like one of the complaints I've seen a lot around AAA games has been it doesn't feel like the big hype that it felt like it was going to be when we were entering into this cycle. Be it because of the fact that they were supporting the previous generation for so long, or whether the hardware jump just wasn't there. I think a Pro can make sense. I wouldn't personally buy one. As far as like how long a console cycle should go, I think 10 years is probably fair. I would say 10 years is like the bare minimum. And if we're saying 10 years is the bare minimum, and it's been 5 years, I think we said.
Four.
It'll be 4 years in November.
Okay,
so
so
the PS5 came out.
So if we're saying 4 years in November, and we're saying 10 years is about the shelf life of what we think a console cycle should be. If they announce a PS5 Pro this year and it comes out this holiday season, I mean, it's getting close to being around that halfway point for a refresh. Like, I feel like we've seen refreshes come sooner in some cases.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing with me. It's like become more obvious.
For context, we had the PS4 Pro come out 3 years after launch. The 4 came out 2013. The Pro came out 2016. So yeah, we're looking like usually between 3-4 years we get a Pro or even or an updated SKU, I guess.
I hate that that's a thing.
Sorry, it was a V. You wouldn't have to sell your PS5. Like they're still going to make PS5 games. A Pro is just going to be an upgraded version. It's kind of like going from like a 3080 graphics card to like a 4070. Like, is there going to be a difference? Yeah, that's probably like not even a good comparison. But it's like going from like a mid-range.
No, it's a good comparison.
Yeah, it's like going from like a mid-range PC to a high-end PC. Like, it's like, do you need it? I mean, the mid-range works, but obviously the high-end is going to be a nicer experience.
Tone also said, then I have to resell my Switch for the Switch 2. I think that is probably a more likely, as long as the Switch 2 supports your Switch library, I think that's going to be a more likely outcome for Nintendo side of things.
And that's a bigger leap between technology, honestly. Yeah. Like, that would be worth trading it. Well, I'm not going to trade mine in because mine's fucking limited edition, but like, that would be worth trading it in.
Yeah, I just got a bare bones basic ass Switch, so that's whenever a Switch Pro or Switch 2 comes out, that's probably getting traded.
I am not selling this Monster Hunter one. That is not happening.
Hold on, I still got my black and gold Legend of Zelda 3DS. When Ocarina of Time came out, the 3DS remake came out for that. So yeah, I'm not getting rid of that thing. It's in a nice little secure box. But yeah, I kind of gotta agree. Like, I feel like. Kind of go with what Tom was saying. I feel like when you said the 10 years, I feel like that's a good like overall lifespan number of the console, not necessarily when the next generation should be introduced. But yeah, I feel like we're just slowly reducing that time that we had before. Like they kind of like just throw these old consoles to the wayside. Because before it was like, I mean, how long do we have PS2 games going for? Like 2000?
Oh God,
2011, something like that.
No. Technically, the last one I believe the last PS2 game stopped being produced in like 2020. I want to say.
Let's see. Pro Evolution Soccer 2014 was the last game of the PS2. That was 2013.
I thought
So 13 years because that PS2 came out 2000. Yeah, 2000. So 13 years, but it hasn't been like
crazy. That is pretty crazy though.
Actually, and the last PS3 game was 2020. So 13 years, 14 years, 2006.
Let me guess, that was the soccer game too, right?
Whatever the hell Shakedown Hawaii is was the last game released on the PlayStation 3. Go back. If Google can be trusted, Shakedown Hawaii is the last.
I need to go see this.
PS3. Like, Google it. I'm looking at the screen. I'm not lying to you. But yeah, no, I feel like.
Oh, it's like Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna get a PS5 Pro because we're in that time frame to get it. But the thing is like, how many games are going to support it? Because that's the thing when the PS4 Pro came out. Not a lot of games actually like utilized it. Like you had God of War, Last of Us.
True.
Like some Assassin's Creed games had like a boost. A lot of open world stuff had like a booster for it. I think Call of Duty had some boost for PS4 Pro. But yeah, like it's going to be worth it. And also, what's the price going to be? Also, are you going to get a better damn solid state drive with it? Because preferably we should be getting at least a terabyte and a half, but that ain't never going to happen because they got to cut corners. But yeah, I think we're on agreements here about but like should be 6-7 years, but it seems like as this technology advances, it's going to be less and less time.
It's so weird that we keep getting like these middle upgrades. Like that's not become a standard.
Well, let's be honest. Even though I love Sony, it's kind of just Sony doing that.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It is a Sony thing.
Like,
granted, Xbox did that with the the One X. That was sort of their Xbox One Pro.
Microsoft had several iterations of the Xbox One. They had the Xbox One, the One S, the One X.
What's the One S?
The One S was the slim down model.
Oh, right.
It wasn't even just slim down though. It was slim down. It had a different it had like different chips in it. It had different it had like even different like memory in it and all that stuff. It was a factually more performant machine than the original Xbox. It was just a better performing machine overall. I had to do performance tests on the different ones, and I will definitely tell you, like, it was a more performant one. So like, I just don't view these things as bad things. I think that as technology goes on, you can expect to have new improved versions of consoles every couple of years because that's just kind of what they're focused on. They're trying to give the best experience, and I think it's a good thing. I think it sucks for early adopters, but I think it's good that they're continuing to try and improve something, even though like we know they're obviously working on like the future already, right? It's nice that while they're working on the future, they're trying to improve the present. So I don't mind it too much.
That's true. 360, you had the 360, the Elite, and what, the S? It was a 360S, if I remember right.
The Elite? Oh, wait.
Yeah, the Elite, the black one, the like black and green one. Well, more so like camo green and like black highlights and stuff like that.
That was like the only way to get like a 1 terabyte drive, I think, at one point.
120 gig.
120 gig. I'm sorry.
Because I think it came with a 20, and then if you got the package that came with a 20 gig. Otherwise, you had to buy that hard drive. Remember, we were working at Game Crazy. You had to buy that hard drive.
Oh, shit.
If you got the box that didn't have the damn hard drive.
You're right.
120 gigabyte back then felt like a terabyte today.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Because games were like, oh, yeah, this game's only like 6 gigs, 5 gigs, or like 200 megabytes. It was easy.
Now it's like, this game's 100 gigs, standard.
Listen, man. We are all part of the problem on that. Understand this, all right?
Oh, yeah.
There was a 360E. I forgot about that.
Everyone out here complaining about we want better graphics, we want bigger games. Okay.
Bro,
Well, enjoy 200 gigabyte installs.
I'm so sick of this shit. I'm so sick of it, bro. I don't need my games to look like photorealistic no more, bro. I feel like we've hit a bump in the road here. Like we can just
Hold on, sir.
scale
I still
back a little
my
bit.
photorealistic.
We can always get better.
It's-
It
Yeah,
can always
but I
make it
don't
look pretty. It can always be
See?
prettier.
Loon is part of the problem.
Yeah, but I don't like having to sacrifice my
calm down,
hard
Jamal.
drive.
Calm down, Jamal. Calm down, Jamal. We don't need the better graphics. All right.
I don't like having to sacrifice my hard drive, man.
Hey, just be
Yeah.
like me and get 8 terabytes of space for your PC.
What the fuck?
I like having a lot of my Steam library installed, so I don't got to re-download and reinstall shit. All right, I want to like just go
Yeah,
back.
you ain't wrong. If
I
I
like
had-
just going back
if
to
had
shit
money,
whenever
I'd
I
do it
want
too.
instead of just having to reinstall stuff. All right, don't judge me.
You ain't wrong.
So-
I would do the same thing, honestly.
I believe I fixed the problem, but the solution is we have to shut down the stream and then restart.
8 terabytes is crazy.
We gotta start the stream. Restart it.
Yeah, that's
Start
the
it from
only
the
thing we do.
top.
Literally, it's probably gonna be like
Technical
2
difficulties.
seconds.
All right, we will be
So-
down brief. We'll be down briefly. Let's get it. So people can get the quality of video. We'll be back after these messages. We ain't got no damn messages, but we'll be back. Zip it up, zip it out.
All right, so I went and saw Late Night with the
That's-
Devil.
How was it?
We're back on air. I think.
Okay, we are back on here.
Oh, back on topic.
Yeah, we're back on. We are back. Apparently, hopefully the video is good. But
Hopefully y'all stayed.
that's a good time to transition into one of our main topics for the evening, which I will bow out of for the most part. I'll have something to chime in because I'm biased. So, topic: we got Rise of the Ronin that's coming out. It just came out. Of course, we got our mascot of the show, Miss Leona. Say hi. With Rise of the Ronin coming out, do we need more games in the Soulsborne or Souls-like genre still coming out? Because we've been on decent a bit. We had the new Lord of the Fallen. We had Lies of P. Now we got Rise of the Ronin. Obviously, you had Elden Ring. And we got Surge 1 and 2. I think they're working on Surge 3. They hinted at that. Now,
Fucking Remnant 2.
Remnant 2 just came out. Like, and we had Wolong, Jedi Survivor. Like, so we got a lot of stuff. I'm a fucking sadist. I love playing these goddamn games and like torture myself. I don't know why. And I like it. It's good. It's nice. It's a nice challenge. It's a punish to stupidity. Whatever. I like it. But do we have too many now? And let's go with Hustle to go with this one. Like I said, I'm biased.
I don't think we do. I think we have enough that differentiate themselves from the source that like they're all their own unique thing. Like Remnant 2 doesn't play like obviously like Neo 2, right? And Neo 2 doesn't play like Bloodborne, right? Every single, I'm not gonna say every single because there are some lazy motherfucking Souls type games that don't try to innovate anything different and basically just copy paste formula. That's it. But I think as long as whoever decides to make a game within that genre, if they try to make it as unique to their own, their own vision, I think it's a genre that can stay as it is. I mean, granted, the apex of that is still now Elden Ring, right? That's like that's where the bar is, right? For that genre, I would say, like the bar is Elden Ring now.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for any other company that's not From Software to reach that level.
That's incredibly hard because Elden Ring did a lot of things, but there's a lot of really good ones out there, like Remnant 2. Beat it, loved it. Great experience I had. Honestly, I was like, I have nothing negative to say about Remnant 2. To me, that was like a 10 out of 10 game.
I'm weird with Remnant 2 being in the Souls-like category. Like, I consider that closer to be like it's obviously not isometric, it's third-person shooter, but I put that closer to Diablo than anything.
It's like a mix of both.
Yeah, because it's a mix of like
medium.
if you took Diablo, made it a shooter, and then gave it like roguelike elements and punishing mechanics, like how dying and losing your souls, finding new gear, unique bosses, co-op. So it's a combination of a bunch of things. Time, do you have anything on the Souls-like topic?
Yeah, I was just listening to you all and gather my thoughts on this. I don't have a real horse in this race. I don't really play Souls-like games too much. My general opinion on like game genres as a whole and games, if there's a hunger for those games, like in general, and there's people out there who have the skills to make good versions of those games, then yeah, I think absolutely there's room for more. Certainly, I struggle to say there's a need for anything because I feel like when a genre starts picking up steam and gets hot, you run the risk of too many people being like, "Oh, I want to make that game. People love that kind of game, and that game's gonna sell."
Oh, you mean like the MOBA craze?
Yeah, like I think, am I reading this right? Is it Snurl or Snert? Snert. You know, they said that as long as you know, you can keep as long as you can keep the fresh mechanics, they're all for it. That's kind of where I'm coming from. If you can keep mechanics fresh, if you have new original ideas, then absolutely go for it. But if people are just going to regurgitate, I want to make Elden Rings, and they try and replicate Elden Rings, that's going to get old fast.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's going to happen.
Yeah. So I guess ultimately, at the end of the day, there's a need for them so long as people can keep coming up with new ideas that are fun.
What you think, Loon?
Me, I love soul games. I like beat myself over pain, but I'm still playing for Honor One. But yeah, as opposed to has soul games reached their peak? It's kind of average out because we'll peak at let's see, what's the last one? Real thing.
The last Souls-like game to come out?
Yeah, the huge one.
Oh well, you had Elden Ring, you got the
Elden
DLC
Ring.
coming out, and you got the
Like
DLC
it'll
coming out
peak
next month.
really high, and then it'll average out at something like
June.
What's the game that you had the lantern with soul? Can't think of it.
Bloodborne?
Not Bloodborne. It's another one.
Demon Souls?
It was like $39.99. Huh?
I was gonna say Demon Souls, but I'm fine.
Thymesia? That one? No.
Can't think of it. But it'll peak really high and then it'll mid out. So I was talking to Tone earlier. I told him like I don't know of a bad Souls like
whatever it is.
Oh, you were thinking Lords of the Fallen, the new one.
Yeah, Lords of the Fallen. Like I think that one is a mid in that genre, but it's still a good game. You know what I mean?
Definitely way better than the first, because the first one did nothing special. Like the first Lords of the Fallen, it didn't do anything.
Yeah.
What was that? There was no character customization. You were just a big Viking dude, but you play a rogue, but you were like 350 pounds. You were like 6'8", 350 pounds, but you were a rogue. And it's like, all right,
yeah, weird.
All right, I guess like I got to suspend disbelief a little bit.
What was that one that stole assets from a bunch of different games, and then like the devs started doubling down on that? Because they stole assets from what's it called? The anime one.
I don't think I played the one you're talking about.
The vampire anime one, but they stole assets.
Code Vein.
They stole assets from Code Vein, and then just like dollied them up a little bit and put them in their game. And then at some point, the Lance Longinus from Evangelion is in the game. I was like, all right, okay, you definitely stole some of these models and just put them in.
Per a Game Rant article, after massive backlash, the Souls-like video game Bleak Faith Forsaken.
That was it.
Those assets it was accused of stealing from Elden Ring.
Wasn't just Elden Ring. It was Elden Ring, friggin' Code Vein, Evangelion. Like, they just took everything that they could dollied it up a little bit, changed it a little bit, and I'm assuming Blender, and then put it right back in the game and retextured it. That game was bad.
It's always crazy when you see other game studios do that. Like, people aren't gonna notice, like, at all, because eventually someone's gonna be like, "Wait a fucking minute! I know this animation. I know this sword." Especially for like Souls and Elden Ring players, like people will scour that game with a fine-tooth comb and a magnifying glass to find every single detail. So of course we're like, "Wait a minute, it's a goddamn Sword of Black Flame from Elden Ring. What the fuck you do? What the hell are you doing in here?"
How did you get that? And you don't feel in the least bit guilty of the fact that you're gonna now sell this at full price?
Nah, people ain't got no shame.
No.
You know,
You're gonna get caught.
What?
We've had how many games the past year where it's just like, all right, we're gonna release this. Like, this game looks like shit. I mean, true, but somebody gonna buy it.
Somebody gonna pay for it.
It's a design choice, okay?
It's a unique design choice.
It's a feature. It's a feature, like they say with Bethesda bugs. It's a feature.
God. Oh my god. That's something else I want to talk about later after what they said potentially about Elder Scrolls, but we'll get back to that. Just go to my thing on the Souls, like I said, I can't get enough of those games, obviously, when they're done right. Like, Liza P was one of the best games that came out last year. I still need to actually get into, like, play more of Lords of the Fallen. Like, I have it, but I just only put, like, 5-6 hours to it. Elden Ring is a masterpiece, obviously. Like there's two posters back there. I don't know if they can see it. I got my Malekith, and I got the cover. Like, I love Elden Ring. I think my hoodie's over there, but I digress. But no, it has to be done right, because there's a lot of time. There are some where it's just like, this is okay. Like, admittedly, the Surge 1 and 2 are okay.
I thought the Surge 2 was good.
It's okay. There's a lot of weird quality of life changes that game could go for, but
yeah,
can't do much about that. I did like Code Vein a lot, because I'm a fucking weeb, so if I want to be an anime vampire fighting weird demons, then that's on me.
That's pretty good.
And obviously, like, what else? Wo Long was a lot of fun. I played through that on Game Pass, because I like games that use more parrying stuff. Like, do more with, like, a crazy, like, mechanic where you have to parry, whether it be like Nio, freaking even the Surge with his limb cutting off so you can get unique weapons and armor.
That's pretty cool too.
Like, yeah, you got to add something in that makes you unique, because if you're playing it from a software one, besides Sekiro, obviously, because it's completely different than all the other ones, you're at least getting something unique. Like, when they went from Dark Souls 1 to Dark Souls 2, they changed how all the stats work. All new bosses. Dark Souls 3 was a big mixture of, like, traveling between different places. Elden Ring, they made open world. So who knows what's going to happen to be Elden Ring 2, Bloodborne 2, whatever the hell they do next. Or I don't know what From Software's got to line up next after Shadow of the Erd Tree. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, I have no idea. Probably, I'm going to assume Armored Core 6 DLC would be the most obvious choice.
But yeah, no, I don't think there are too many Souls games. I still feel like it's a fairly niche genre. I think the only one that got real mainstream appeal, because obviously everyone loves the Souls games, but compared to, like, your Call of Duty, your MMOs, your battle royales, like your survival shooters, it doesn't still have that player base.
Yeah, it's still huge.
Elden Ring kind of like broke the barrier on that when you had tens of millions of people buying the damn game,
because no one could stop talking about it. And then Twitter, not Twitter, I think Twitch really helped push Elden Ring as well too. Well, social media in general did. This is compared to back in the day. Like, think of, like, before, when we just had Demon Souls and social media, and it was not all that big during that time.
Well, I remember we had to find out about Demon Souls from Jesse.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you. So, as someone who enjoys themselves a fine Souls game, a Souls-like game, what would you want to see? Like, what would be something that would, like, just floor you if you saw? Like, can you think of something that you, like, your ideal Souls-like game? Like, what do you think, like, the evolution of that genre is?
I think the evolution is I think my dream Souls-like game would be the quality put into Elden Ring, but in a sci-fi setting, traveling to different planets, and a little bit more emphasis on co-op, like how Remnant is a little bit, because you can co-op in Elden Ring. Like, and I'm not saying you can't, but it's just like
It's a shit system, though.
maybe balance some things around it, making a co-op experience, but then obviously have it balanced. Like, you can go through the story solo if you want, but I feel like some kind of like somehow going bigger than Elden Ring, like basically like I don't know, like the scale they tried to make Starfield, but Elden Ring, where traveling different planets, maybe getting companions. Like I don't know. Like I'm almost like saying now, like just make Mass Effect, but make it Elden Ring. That's kind of like almost what I'm fucking getting at. But I don't know how you would do that. Like I don't know. I feel like I would like to
It can be done.
I would like to see a sci-fi Elden Ring. Is what I want to see.
Here's two questions for you. What if you could get a Souls-like game, like an Elden Ring kind of game, with like that sense of exploration and vastness of the world, like that a Dragon's Dogma 2 has?
That would be cool.
With co-op.
I feel like Elden Ring and Dragon's Dogma both do that really well, because like from the things I've seen from Dragon's Dogma 2, it's like there's so much stuff hidden in the world. Same thing in Elden Ring. I saw a video the other day where a dude say like, I have 1,000 hours in Elden Ring. I've never fought this boss before.
Yeah, no, dude, that's the same.
That is true.
There's
okay.
There's two games I think do that. Elden Ring and Cyberpunk 2077. People still come up with quests that I have never found in that game. I was like, how have you found this quest? And I've been like almost 200 hours in Cyberpunk 2077. I've never started that quest line.
Snert said, I want more dynamic movement in combat. Agreed. Like,
true.
Even though I have that combat system like ingrained in my soul now, I still would like to be able to do some more acrobatic stuff sometimes. But yeah, and more seamless co-op. Yes, 1000%.
Yeah,
the only thing that holds these From Software games back is like just making it unique. Here's your code, and then like here's your like server. Like just make it easy. Like just make it so I can.
Neo does it. Like Neo 2 does it very well. Their co-op. Friggin' Remnant does it very well. Their co-op. Just give me good co-op in a Souls game, like dedicated co-op.
Yeah, that code multiplayer is a headache.
It's like when you got the DS. Like, what the hell is a goddamn friend code? It's like, can I just invite you? Like, what are we doing? It's like, I can connect to Wi-Fi, but I can't just have a friends list. Like, what are we doing? You
gotta go to my side. Are you standing next to it? No, not.
Oh God, yeah.
No, I'm not.
And it's like,
I'm right here.
And then it's like, all right, wait, what's your soul level? It's like, I'm a 32. All right, I'm 180. I can't join you. All right, let me make a new character so I can join you. But then I can't really help you because then I have fresh game. It's just like, like some people might want to have fun and run their character through the game, like, or run their friend through the game. Like, why not? Let that be on them to do that if they want to do that.
Yeah.
Well, so the second question I had was, if you could pick one Marvel superhero to build a Souls-like game around.
I'm gonna not say Spider-Man because that's the easy choice. Doctor Strange could be fun. You said,
yeah, I was thinking that.
Doctor Strange could be fun. Blade could be definitely real fun.
Ooh, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
Because we all know Arcane ain't making no goddamn good Blade game. I will be on that shit talking hill until the day that game comes out. I don't care. That is that studio's last chance for me to have any kind of good faith towards it whatsoever. Even though I have no good faith towards Arcane Studios at all. But if they fuck up the Blade game, I will just never stop it, like, at all.
That's probably fair.
If you would like to see Raijin do a full playthrough of Blade, you can donate to us.
If the people want it, I'll do it.
But comment.
Make sure that like, comment, subscribe for when Blade comes out, and then I will play through the whole game on stream whenever it comes out, because I don't trust that studio. Like, I don't.
I want it to be good to prove you wrong, but I know it's going to be entertaining if it's bad and you get to play it anyway.
Ooh.
So it's like, yeah, I feel like doing any kind of characters that's involved with Midnight Suns would be good. So you get Magic, Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, Blade.
Or Magic game would be cool too, because then you transform into a demon form.
Yeah, well, I mean, that and like the game could take place in Limbo.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true.
Have the game I was thinking Doctor Strange because like there's a multiverse, like you can do like some kind of weird like multiverse kind of thing with like periods where you go into like that glass dimension. I was thinking start saying magic, that is phenomenal because like Limbo. Like, I'm thinking like characters that shift planes so that you can have the game take place in like an altered plane.
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch. You know, Scarlet Witch is the villain of one.
Oh yeah,
you could make an America Chavez game with that too.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Make like a magical power, like almost like sort of like beat 'em up. Like now I'm thinking like, damn, it doesn't have to be a Souls game. Now I just want these Marvel games.
Page 4, and then you had the G.I. Joe one getting ready to come out, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one that's fantastic with 6-player multiplayer. Why do we not have a Marvel side-scroll beat 'em up now, done in the same kind of style? Yo, they could literally just make a whole new X-Men beat 'em up, just like they did with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
They could,
why would not have it?
They could, but that's a good idea. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And remember what happened in the last X-Men game we tried coming out with?
Which one was
Does
that?
anyone remember that? I remember.
It died.
3, 2, 1. X-Men Destiny.
Oh.
We talked about this off stream.
That is a soft spot for Time's heart right there.
I know more about the development of that game than I care to. I'm not going to talk about it.
So you getting weepy eyed just as we talk about it.
It does hurt. It does hurt. We're gonna talk about actually we can just use that as a good transition because like we're kind of on the same page like for the Soulslike. But I did put this in our notes for today because we had that surprise announcement after the rumors are coming out. We got a new Overwatch or hero shooter contender. That trailer dropped today. Marvel Rivals. What do we think after that first trailer? And I think the list of characters was confirmed, at least launch characters. Loon, what you thinking? Did you watch that trailer?
Yeah, I did. I watched a piece of it. I was watching it while I was at work, and I hope y'all, don't do that. It's like Overwatch ripoff, but I'm probably gonna play it because I'm a Marvel shield.
Yeah, I mean it's not like
you'll play for like 10 minutes and then you'll stop.
Yeah,
that's fine.
But yeah, it was pretty decent.
But here's a list of 19 characters that were either in the trailer or they said are going to be in the game, except for this last one, which is weird. I don't know why they put that there. Got Rocket Raccoon. They said Star-Lord's in the game, even though I don't think I saw him in the trailer. I think I saw a picture of him. Yeah, Black Panther, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, Namor, Magneto, Magic Storm, Penny Parker, Luna Snow, Loki, the Hulk, Spider-Man, Groot, Mantis, Punisher, and Magneto. In this article I'm looking at, for some reason, it says Galactus ? And I don't know why the hell that's there. So let's just say those first 18
in it,
and ignore Galactus. Now, if you put Silver Surfer, or just put Silver Surfer in the game.
I really feel like it's gonna be a balance issue to destroy this game. One character
it's hard to balance out.
That's what happens to every hero shooter. It's hard to balance these games. It's hard to like make it so it's fun to play. B, make it balance, and C, make it so it's like not aggravating to play. Because after a certain point, Overwatch just became aggravating to play. But
I do respect the fact that the devs did say that the characters that are known for melee are going to be melee. But I wonder how are they going to balance that out between the ranged characters? Because if you're like, okay, I get that Spider-Man can easily close the gap. He has his web shooters. He can just pull himself in and start beating you up and shit, right? But like, what about Wolverine when they put him in eventually?
I guarantee it's gonna be
it's gonna be like the X-Men Origins Wolverine game. You just do that long distance jump.
True, but I respected the fact that they're gonna make them all melee. That they're gonna make the melee characters be melee and not try to force and hand fist some kind of ranged ability into their kit just as a primary source of damage. Like Genji, I'm gonna be real with you. Genji should have been a melee character in Overwatch.
100%.
Like, why is his sword the coolest thing that's on him regulated to his ult? Yeah, he only uses it in his ult. Even though every single piece of promotional material that you ever see Genji in, He's using his sword as his primary thing to attack with.
I want to see how they're gonna do flyers, like, because Iron Man didn't touch the ground, like he was. That's
Yeah, I'm
his
wondering if that's like
area. Like, if he's gonna be like on a cool down, or he going to stay up there, because that could be
a thing I noticed. A thing that I noticed though is that it seems like every single character has some kind of like traversal ability. Because I saw, if you look closely, you can see Penny Parker climbing up walls. You can see Rocket Raccoon climbing up a wall, climbing up a pillar before Iron Man destroys the shit. So I think everybody has some kind of traversal maneuver to them. Whether you're a flyer or if you're Spider-Man, obviously you gotta.
Loki can swap with his like copies and stuff like that. Obviously,
yeah.
Black Panther can like jump around. I think Rocket also has like a jetpack too, because I saw him like
he has a jetpack as well.
Storm can fly. Magneto is gonna be able to fly. Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, all of them should be able to fly. But you got to keep it within reason. Otherwise, it's gonna be too strong for the melee people to get to.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I hope it's good. I really do. I don't want that game to fail. Like,
what's up, Time?
I don't want any of these things to fail. It's just reality sometimes. I'm not saying I'm not even saying the game's gonna fail. I just don't think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be middle of the road. Here's you know what? Not good is a strong phrase. I don't think it's gonna be worth the average person's time who is already invested in a lot of these games that are out there. I think if you're someone who's already invested in a Valorant, if you're already invested in a Counter-Strike, if you're already invested in an Overwatch, I don't think a subpar Marvel game is going to be enough to draw people away from stuff they already have hundreds of hours in. I think.
What if it's not subpar?
Well, it's NetEase, so it's going to be. But if it's
to piggyback off his point real quick, we have already seen this formula, not hero shooter, but we all remember Infinite Crisis. We all liked Infinite Crisis, the DC mobile. And where's Infinite Crisis now?
If it's not, then I'm wrong. And
I want to know what happened with Infinite Crisis. Like, why did they just give up?
Well, because they didn't have the player base. Like, these games cost money to run. Servers cost money. I think the game is going to make money. It's a Marvel game. But like, do I think that it's going to have long-lasting appeal for the average person? No, I don't. I think that it's probably going to have a low barrier to entry. I think it's going to be grindy. I think that it's not going to be super fun. The stuff that people are having the most fun with and is most successful right now are the most fun games. Helldivers 2, Palworld, like those two wild successful games that just came out recently of that. Esports is dying. It's not improving. Like, the problem with a lot of the games that come out is they try too hard to be the new competitive shooter or the new competitive game, and they're just not good enough to capture that audience because they're not good enough to be competitive games. Like, a good competitive game comes from a game just being a fun game and people wanting to be competitive at that fun game. People are too stupid to understand that. And they tried too much and they tried too hard to make the next competitive game rather than just trying to make a fun competitive game. You make a fun competitive game, you're going to make a game that is going to be something that naturally lends itself well to tournaments, because tournaments are social gatherings. They're parties, they're events, they're happenings. These games don't have the community. They don't have the soul of a Marvel vs. Capcom, of a Halo 2, of a Halo 3. They don't have the soul of a League of Legends back in the day. They don't have the soul of like the old Overwatch League. They just don't. They're trying too hard. I think this will probably be a decent game to kill some time in, but I don't think it's going to be worth 100 hours of your fucking life. I just don't. I think it's going to be worth maybe 20 hours. It's going to be a great free-to-play game. You're going to have a great time with it, but then like in about a month, you're going to be playing Helldivers 2 with your friends.
Not completely out of the question, and I'm inclined to agree. Like, I will play it, but yeah, that I completely missed the NetEase thing, and I was like, I don't think they've ever actually made a game that I'm like, damn, that was a good ass game. Like,
I go back to the point that I made earlier, though. I'm willing to give them a shot because we all thought Killer Instinct was going to fucking suck because Double Helix was developing it. and they proved everybody wrong. And it ended up being a great game.
Right, but
So it is possible that a studio could do right.
no, not when it's NetEase, because they have a design philosophy that is fundamentally just like they like. All right, you know what? I'm gonna take that back. All right, I'm looking at the games they've worked on, and I will say that there are games that you have enjoyed of theirs and you still play. They worked on the Raqqa, by example. That's a game that I think you enjoyed.
Wait, what was it?
Like
Raqqa
the
Blade
Raqqa Blade Point.
Oh yeah, no, I love the Rocket.
Yeah, so you enjoyed that, but like I'm looking at their list of games here, and like I can't think of anything that I have personally played that is like super hot. Like the game's going to be profitable. It's going to be a game that will have an audience, but I don't think it's going to be like, oh my god, I'm going to play this forever. I think it's just going to be a good game, and there's nothing wrong with that. To be clear, like that's not a bad thing. It's just not something I'm super hyped about.
Yeah. I mean, any game I get to play as Spidey that's fun. I'm looking at you, Marvel Avengers.
Yeah,
it will get me in for a couple hours. But yeah, like it's hard for me to like sit down and play new competitive games. Not mainly because like I don't have the time to be on with everyone, so it's hard for me to like play shit like that. It's like when I get the chance to play co-op or like maybe now when I get level cap at 14, I'll play that. But yeah, like the trailer looked solid. Like it actually surprised me when you like posted up, and I was like, oh, damn, okay, this looks like actually well put together, and it's a complete departure from other shit NetEase has done. And
Yeah.
I would like it to do good, but at the same time, it's like it kind of falls in the weird. Did we need it? Like, did we need this game? And it's like,
Yeah.
not really. It's fun to see. I like seeing new Marvel property games come out, or like new Star Wars property game come out if they're done well. But it's like, did I need a Marvel hero shooter?
I feel like it makes the most sense because it is literal heroes. So I feel like it's odd, but I feel like a hero shooter from a Marvel or DC property or any comic property makes sense.
It's
'Cause you
also a
already
strange
have-
time because the last hero shooter we had that was trying to be something was what, Paragon, and Paladins, and what's that other one that there's a new one coming out that's like in beta. It looks like Paragon. I forget the name, but it's like not.
It
really
might actually be Paragon.
Which one?
Predecessor?
I think Predecessor is.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it might actually just be Paragon.
Yeah, no, it's Predecessor. It's
two of
Predecessor.
them.
It's Predecessor. That's the one.
I also want to be clear. When I say like mediocre, right, or middle tier, that's like a C or a B. Like it's a C
Yeah,
plus
Blicky.
probably. Like I'm not sitting here
Some-
trying to say that this game's going to be the worst thing ever. I just think it's going to be a bit of a cash grab.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, that's NetEase
Yeah,
in general. Like,
yeah.
because like look at Diablo Immortal. Like they did main development on that, and that's what was that dude the week one? What he spent $100,000 to get to cap himself out on gear?
Yeah,
And it's like,
I forget it.
But then he said he did that just for other people to not do that. I'm like,
I mean, I wish
Did
I
you
just
need
had
to do that
stupid.
to prove
I
it?
wish I just had stupid money to be like that. Like I'm spending $100,000 to prove a point. It's like
you
what
didn't need to
what's
spend
the point?
like no one asked you to spend $100,000 to prove that the microtransactions are bullshit in the game. Like, you kind of did it on your own, buddy. I don't know.
But oh, sorry.
For me, it's like, okay, how much fun can I have soloing this game? Because what made me tap out of fucking Overwatch 2 was it was unfun for me, solo-wise. I was just like, I can't do this anymore, man. Playing it solo in Overwatch 2 it hurt.
It's not hitting.
No, it wasn't. It's frustrating. Like when you want to be a tank solo in Overwatch 2, it's like, dude, this is like I'm torturing myself. I'm torturing myself.
It bothers me I can't go to their webpage and I can't find any information about the actual studio working on this game. Like that bothers me. I'm sitting here right now.
Publisher, not the studio developing it.
But yeah, well, so yeah, I'm trying to I want to look into more about like what these people are about. see like if I can find anything else they've worked on. I can't find anything.
It just straight up says NetEase, which is like I know they have multiple teams under them, so it's like that's like super vague.
But I'm open to being wrong. I'm going to give it a shot, and if I'm wrong, I'll eat my words. Like I have zero issue in saying that. It's just like at this point in time in 2024, I'm fairly jaded about. I'm fairly jaded about teams coming out trying to enter into genres and making competitive games. Like I have an inherent bias against competitive games at this point.
Like when EA tried making a Dawngate to rival League of Legends, even though they never made a MOBA before.
Yeah,
You mean
that's
gigantic?
exactly it. Like
No, Dawngate. You're thinking of Dawngate was a MOBA EA did, but Gigantic's that another Microsoft.
That's coming back.
Yeah,
that was a fun one. That was like PvPvE, PvP PvE.
yeah.
Wait, what?
It's just one of those things where it's like, I think it's great to see more teams entering into these, arenas and trying to create new properties. And I think it's great that we get new Marvel properties. But I guess what I'm afraid of is I'm afraid of this game being something that has just like uninspired gameplay mechanics, balancing issues, and that the microtransactions are going to be aggressive,
outrageous.
yeah, aggressive, outrageous, probably good words.
That tone saying, "You got your hashtag time called
I
it."
know, right?
Get you ready for the future.
I'm afraid that it's going to be fun up front, but like there's going to be some kind of mechanism that turns it into being incredibly grindy, because that just seems to be a more Eastern design philosophy. It's happening in the West too.
I'm about to say,
It happens in the
yeah.
West too. Like, but like you don't see it as much here. Like that. Like that's you don't see it as much here. You do not see the kind of grindy, aggressive, like Korean MMO like kind of stuff. Like you don't see that as much. You do see it.
Modern Warfare 2.
We
That shit is
this game is
grindy.
1000% getting a battle pass with unique skins that you gotta pay for.
Yeah, like you do see it. Like I'm not denying.
Even
I'm just saying.
like the weapons themselves, that shit is so grindy, dude.
I'm just saying that if I see like a NetEase game,
Warfare.
it'll be pretty predictable that there's probably going to be some kind of grind to it. That's not necessarily a bad thing. There's an audience of people who like that kind of stuff. I'm not that person. That's why I'm saying this. Like, it is entirely possible that I hate this game and you like it. Like, I don't like. That's why I don't like. That's the main reason I don't like giving too strong of an opinion on these kinds of things. Because, like, at the end of the day, when I'm saying these things, I'm just saying it from my perspective. I'm just saying it as someone who I feel like my temperature for things tends to be in line with the market. But there's definitely lanes of the industry that disagree with me, and like there's plenty of room for these kinds of things to be successful. I'm just trying to lay out like why I believe that on a more wider than not scale, I think that it ultimately won't be as big as it could be.
It's a fair point, but moving on to something that is big as hell. Our other main topic of the night, going back to Palworld. Because Palworld has confirmed 25 million players between Xbox and Steam, doing crazy numbers, getting updates.
Currently?
Yeah, well, they said it's reached a total player base of 25 million players between Steam and Xbox players. The CEO is talking about bringing it to more platforms, but didn't exactly confirm which one. So we can assume the ones not on Switch, PS5. That's about it.
Yeah.
Maybe some tablets, maybe an iPhone version, maybe an Android version. Who knows?
It will not be on Switch. I could not see Nintendo being like, "Oh yeah, totally put this on the Switch." Like,
obviously, with the success, you got the eyes of some bigger companies looking at it. The CEO also said that they're open to considering offers for acquisition, but they're not currently in talks with any specific companies.
I hope they don't
do that. He said he's quoted as saying, "We're committed and we'll remain a small studio." He's saying the success of Palworld does not mean they're about to expand and start trying to produce AAA games or quadruple A games. Now, the question is, with Palworld's success, do you see them do you foresee them ever actually selling out? I'm not gonna say selling out as it's a bad thing because like or getting bought out by a new studio. And I'll add in which studios do you think would have their eyes on Pocket Pair the most after seeing how successful Palworld is? Let's go.
It would be hard to.
I was gonna say let's start with Ty. I know you just ranted a little bit, but do you see Pocket Pair being potentially acquired with the success of Palworld at any time soon, or sticking to their guns?
No, I don't think they're going to. I don't think they really care too much about money. It seems like, which is a weird thing to say, but I do think there are some game developers out there who are able to hold out because they would rather have full control of their vision. I think they hold out. The most likely one to go after them would probably be a Microsoft, but I don't know if they're interested in that.
They can't. They legally can't because they're a Japanese company. American companies can't buy Japanese companies. Like legally, they can't.
These companies?
Yeah.
Pocket Pair is Japanese. What you think, Loon? You think they gonna stick to small indie studio and just stick to updating Palworld and keep that gravy train rolling to themselves?
It would be a good idea because the world has been asking for like a Pokemon that you could actually enjoy that's not on Nintendo. I don't know. Go ahead, Tom.
Sorry, I just wanted to interject real quick. Where are you getting this information that Japanese companies can't be sold to American companies? Because I'm not seeing that anywhere.
Oh, they can? I did not know that.
Absolutely, they can be. There are no.
It's a different process because like you can buy out. You can effectively offer to buy the company, and then effectively you can choose to keep the previous board on or appoint your new members to the board if the previous board agrees to an acquisition by the new owners. But like it has to be voted on by the board. But yeah, like a Western company can buy an Eastern company.
Ugh.
So Microsoft
No one
absolutely
buys them.
Sorry,
yeah, Tone says that effect. I'm pretty sure that's a fact that other companies can globally be bought out.
Yes, I just looked it up. Yeah. Like there was like one of the top answers was on Quora from someone who had done this themselves. Like there may be restrictions for some industries, or special cases, but in general there is no problem. This person says they sold a Japanese company to an American publicly traded listed company, and the legal teams all made it happen.
How often does that actually happen, though?
Yeah, other things I'm looking at is it is a rarity for Japanese companies to be bought by overseas companies, but it does happen.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So it's a rarity.
Culturally, they don't do it typically. Culturally, they try and sell to Japanese companies, but like there's nothing that stops them from doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the extent they go is like maybe China buying a Japanese company, and that's usually probably more common than an American company buying a Japanese company.
I hope they don't.
Activision Blizzard King as an entity was not healthy for the games industry, and I felt like the lesser evil was the Microsoft situation. But like, I am actually a huge supporter of like Toys for Bob. They went independent in that merger. I wish more studios would stick to being independent and just be okay with making a whole bunch of money instead of like more money than they know what to do with.
Isn't there also like just in general like a big problem with the tech industry in general of like these startups come up and then they just get acquired by a bigger company?
Yeah.
The issue with tech companies is like if you have a good tech product or some kind of like thing some kind of product you're offering, it's going to keep scaling up and growing, and eventually it's going to outgrow like even though like we all hate Bezos, he started Amazon's garage like just selling books and shit, and then eventually scaled up to this massive beast that it is now. Eventually it's gonna that's not a tech example, but look at Facebook. Started off in his college dorm room, grew, needs to keep it. Eventually these companies need to get small companies need to get capital from bigger companies because eventually just the bandwidth just gets be too much to handle by themselves.
Google is just a search engine.
Yeah,
Now
Google is a search engine. Now it owns like most of the market share on cell phones in the world and shit like that.
Well, part of the problem is I think there's like 2 or 3 problems. One problem, the fast track to making money is to coming up with a proof of concept and getting it out the door and then selling off as fast as you can. Basically, you prove a concept, you make a website, you do something, and then you sell that off. The second thing is you have companies who, like in Amazon, as you know, the example there. The problem wasn't that Amazon had to grow to be bigger than what it was, or that Google had to grow. The problem is there was people who were really ambitious and asked, why can't we do more? And chose to do more to make more money. Because they wanted to make more cash. Because that's ultimately what their job is the owner of the company is to grow the company and make more money. So that's where the scaling issues and stuff comes in. It's like not responsible to not do that in those cases. That's why I'm happy. That's why, like, if these studios want to get bigger, then yeah, they should sell off. But if they're happy with where they're at and they can support their families and they can support, their staff, they don't have a need to sell out.
Got Goji in the chat being
what up, Goji?
Snoop with them eye emojis.
Yeah, it's a thing. It definitely is a thing.
Yeah, I don't see Pocket Pair either selling off Palworld to some other company or being acquired by some other company. Maybe a Japanese company, but like that's about it. Like who knows? Maybe Nintendo could buy them, but I doubt that would happen because of like the saltiness. People like it's like we're not gonna buy out your company that's very pseudo ripping us off in ways because obviously they don't have a lawsuit to stand on, so they can't really do that. But I see them sticking with their guns. They seem to already have a good, like you said, good proof of concept. It's doing gangbusters for them with the 25 million players on it, and they seem to have a solid update roadmap. So they don't need to do anything anytime soon to have another company buy them out or anything like that.
And they basically said we made so much money, we don't know what to do right now with all this money, which was
sorry.
They were like, we made so much money, and we honestly don't know what to do with all this money.
Good, keep it in the bank. Use that to pay your people, and then develop stuff. Like you don't have to be crazy spending all this money. Like maybe, like do the things you gotta do. Improve your network infrastructure for servers. Pay your people for their overtime they've been working to add stuff in. But you don't really got to go crazy on that. Stick to your schedule.
Honestly.
Yeah, a studio that went the opposite direction, actually, or an individual, Ken Levine. That dude was, for those of you who don't know who Ken Levine is, he was the mastermind behind things like BioShock and
System Shock 2, BioShock.
Yeah, System Shock 2, BioShock, and a whole bunch of other games. He basically, after BioShock Infinite, bounced from 2K.
Yep.
Shuttered the studio, laid off a bunch of people, which sucked. But then he went and made a new, smaller 15-person studio. And for the last 10 years, they've just been working on a new game with 15 people. And I'm pretty sure they're independent. So I hope I would love to see more small teams, independent, not dependent on venture capital or dependent on AAA, just making games that they want to make.
I believe No Man's Sky is still a small team.
Hello Games, yeah, they're still
at least maybe 30 people, I think now.
Yeah, Hello Games is still indie. Yep.
Then they just put out a new update for fucking No Man's Sky. Now you can fully customize your ships.
Yeah, it's fine if a studio has more than 20, 30 people. I just feel like game teams should be small. There are some projects that warrant having big multi-person teams, but there's such a demand for trying to get stuff out fast, and that's why they hire more people for these jobs. I'm pretty sure. Like, I think if you see a 200-person team, it's because they're trying to get a 10-year game done in 5, or like, and I don't know that makes a better game. Like, these games we've been getting have been freaking gangbusters, right? Like, it's hard for me to be like, oh yeah, these games are bad quality, because they're not, right? Like, they're great games, but like, they're not profitable games in a lot of cases, or if they are profitable, they're not as profitable as they should be, or they're so risky because it's like, yeah, we only need to sell 7.5 million units to break even. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, like we make Suicide Squad the butt of the jokes here, but like it's still a very well made game.
Well, I mean, like, Suicide Squad, like, this is like the thing that drives me nuts, right? Like, it's like Suicide Squad, Destiny. It's not that like the game teams who work on these games are bad game teams or untalented or anything. It's just with what they're given to work with. It's just with what they're given to work with, the leadership teams that they have to answer to in some cases. It's just poor management in a lot of situations.
That's facts.
And I'm not even saying management has an easy job, because they don't. Like, these are complicated things. But this is one of the reasons why, like, I think one of my more complicated opinions is that, like, there's a lot of people in, not even in the games industry, just like across, like, you could go into a retail store and see this. There's a lot of people who are in positions in different places that are simply in those positions in some cases because there was no one else. And I feel like leadership in some of these places, sometimes it kind of just winds up being that. I wouldn't dare be able to like say that for certainty with any kind of confidence. It's just a gut feeling I have. It's a gut feeling I have where like people who shouldn't be leaders are in spots of leadership, because they have been fooled. They have been fooled by people into believing that they should be in leadership.
Yeah.
And it's very ignorant of me to say, but it's how I feel.
I don't think it's ignorant to say. I mean, we've seen the prime examples of that in terms of like.
Well, yeah, but like I'm not in their shoes, and I haven't been in their shoes, so it's like that's where the ignorance comes in. Like I don't actually know what it's like to be in their shoes. I don't actually know what causes a lot of the problems to happen that happen. I just have what I've seen, as both on the outside and on the inside. So like maybe it's unfair for me to blame leadership, but like I've always been a believer of like the shit rolls downhill. So if it starts from the top, then leadership has to be the one to blame.
I mean, I've literally seen how bad leadership completely just wrecks a work environment, you know?
Hey, it goes for any industry. Like anywhere you work, bad leadership just trickles down, ruins the experience for whether it be a customer, whether it be a worker, like it doesn't matter. Like, if you don't have the good person at the head, then it's just gonna trickle and fail at some point or another.
That's a fact, man. Like you can't argue against that. I mean, I get it. It may not be quote unquote fair to people who are in those positions, but at the same time, too, it's like, well, you do harbor some kind of responsibility by being in a leadership role. You should be taking some accountability for certain things.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's also just like it's frustrating because it's like if we had better management, a lot of the budgeting issues, like maybe a lot of these games wouldn't be so make or break. Maybe if people had more knowledge on certain things, I don't know. Like it's frustrating. It's a very frustrating situation that like there isn't an easy answer for in that case. And we completely went off topic on that.
Oh, it's all good. We can kind of speak.
I feel like that works for it though.
I mean, I feel like talking about leadership kind of goes into a topic that it wasn't the original notes, but since it's been big news and was kind of a little mini topic we had for last week. But now that the game is out, Dragon's Dogma 2 came out. apparently it's fucking awesome. Still need to get it. I haven't had the chance to start it yet.
Yeah, I need to pick it up.
But yeah, so far got fairly critical acclaim. As with most Capcom releases, has a lot of technical issues on PC. But it seems like the hype of the game is being kind of like pushed to the side due to Capcom's monetary decisions it's had to make for this game. So anyone who didn't know, there's a bevy of microtransactions in Dragon's Dogma 2, which people might find is weird because it's a goddamn single player RPG. For God's sakes, you can only have one save file in the goddamn game. It's like, so why are there microtransactions? However, the microtransactions range from getting another chance to customize your character look, fast travel, or anything like that. Things that should just be regularly unlocked in most open world games, but they're microtransactions. However, there is some misinformation going around about the microtransactions. Yes, they exist. However, you can get everything that's with real money in the game in a relatively short time. Like, I saw some streams somebody playing, it's like, all right, so it costs 10,000 gold to get a character or pawn recustomization. I've been playing for 2 hours and I have 45,000 gold. It's like not a big deal. The other thing is there's the Rift crystals, the RC that you might see, where you might pay for your fast travel, which real money, I believe, is $2 for the item that lets you fast travel. But after 2 hours, and this item costs 500 Rift crystals. You get 1,500, 2,000 Rift crystals your first hour or two in the game. So everything that you get from the microtransactions can be done as it should be, just by playing the game.
But what about the customizer? Because that seemed to be the big point of contention between like
I just said, you can get it with 10,000 gold in the game. The gold is just a regular currency you get in the game. But like some dude was live streaming after 2 hours, he had 45,000. So he had the cost of the character and pawn customizer 4 times over within 2 hours. So it's not like you have to put in dozens of hours of time to be able to unlock this shit microtransactions. It's just like Capcom does this shit with all their games. Like, I don't know.
Capcom should have at least like been more transparent with that, at least to like at least mention it, but to be like, hey, by the way, you can just
in game,
earn it in game.
But Capcom's notorious. They had the gun unlocks for real money in Resident Evil 4 remake. Devil May Cry 5. Remember, you could buy red orbs for upgrading real money.
Yeah, that was a weird ass choice.
You could buy the health increasing orbs, like to boost your max health. So Capcom is not notorious for this, unfortunately. The problem is just with what I've laid out is just really an issue that people should be boycotting the game like some people are.
No,
absolutely not.
That's what people are going like. And I feel like a lot of people are just hopping on the bandwagon because I'm not gonna lie, I did it too a little bit till I did what people are supposed to fucking do, is research what's happening and see, oh, I mean, yeah, the microtransactions to me are dumb because I'm just gonna play the game. But if I can get everything in the game within 30, 45 minutes to an hour, which I'm probably gonna be sitting down playing this game 5-6 hour sessions anyway, if I get the time to do that, I'm gonna have all the currency in the game to do the damn thing. So I'm not buying the microtransactions. I'm not buying the shortcuts. If people want to do that, I call them weirdos, whatever you want to do that. But like, that's on you. That's how you want to spend your money. But it doesn't take away from the quality of the game. And people need. I'm annoyed people are doing that with this because Dragon's Dogma 1, I fucking love that game, and been waiting on this one forever.
Tying this to what we talked about with Rivals for a second. If Rivals winds up having microtransactions like Dragon's Dogma, I will have nothing to bitch about. Because, like, the Dragon's Dogma microtransactions are so minimal and so uninvasive. People really just like to complain about nothing sometimes. And, like, that's this. I understand being a little annoyed by certain things, but, like, man, number one, you can earn the currency in game, like you said. Number two, it's all, who cares? Like, I think with the exception of the fast travel, it's all cosmetic, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong about that?
Let me double check all the list. I believe it's all like cosmetic stuff.
But even if it's not cosmetic, you can earn the stuff in game, correct?
I heard someone say it was pay to win. I was like, pay to win.
As far as I know, you can't buy gear, you can't buy level ups.
Right? Yeah, like
Divers 2's pay to win. Don't forget.
Oh yeah, 100%.
In a PvP.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, people just like to bitch.
PvE though. Bro, this be the same people who fucking complain about weapons in Warframe and they're like, this weapon's overpowered. In a PvE game, we're not fighting each other. We're literally just fighting NPCs. And then they nerf a weapon. Now I'm just like, why?
Yeah, so I found a list.
What?
So in the game, you unlock making campsite kits. You can apparently buy a quicker one instead of unlocking the one, but people saying like I got it within my first hour of game. Like you don't need to buy this. There's a harpy snare beacon. Apparently helps with some harpy quests, but again, saying you can get one in game. Change pawn. That's a cosmetic for changing your pawn. Like I said, $2, but you can get rift crystals in game to change your pawn or change yourself. Port crystals. That's the fast travel. You can get the currency in game to buy those, or you can find them, in caves or dungeons or after boss fights. It's like all this stuff that people are getting scammed for, which is what I keep seeing a lot of people do. All this stuff's in the game. Literally everything's in the game. Like, just it's like there's gonna be the people like the whales, like games like that put the money in, but just play the fucking game. Like, how are you scared? Like, you don't have to buy these things. Like, you're not getting scammed.
I got scammed.
What'd you do? I spent $2 on a fast travel. He's like, you mean the thing that's in the chest right after you start the game over there? Did you go look in that cave? Did you play the game?
But here's the thing,
Maybe
too.
Play the game. It's like
Dragon's Dogma is not a game that you want to fast travel in most of the time anyway, because you find shit. You're supposed to be traveling around. Now, could we use a mount system like a fucking horse? Sure. That's fine. That'd be a smart addition to add in. So you're not walking all the time. But it's like, I don't get it. The complaints about it's like, y'all got no problem watching a fucking 3-hour movie where people just fucking walk, but apparently walking in a game is just too much for you. Okay. All right. Where you can actually have interactivity and kill monsters.
Yeah, like
all right.
That only the person walks.
And yeah, I just dragged Lord of the Rings, by the way.
I know you did. You go on your little cruise too thing. 3 movies of people walk into a fucking mountain.
I'm just saying, like, you can watch a movie where people literally just walk the whole time, but walking in a game is an issue.
There's some running and some sword slashing. It's not just walking.
What's riding?
But you had that also in Dragon's Dogma 2.
Sure.
And you get to run across griffins, dragons, gigantic ogres and shit. Just out there in the world. Some weird
Mr.
monster puppy thing I saw.
Mr. Loon, you've been quiet for a little bit. What you think?
I like somebody kept on trolling. Because if you can get all the stuff in the game, they just, like I said, something about those other transactional, the other game that's like cosmetic, don't really change anything in the game. Like, just don't buy it. Just enjoy yourself.
Like when it came with the red orbs in DMC5, like Dante literally has a hat that you can just use to form red. You can just farm red orbs that way easily.
The hat used red orbs for attacks.
Yeah, but it also makes it. If I remember correctly, it also does if you throw it on them. I believe
it doesn't create Jackson hat.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
it does something where you can actually gain more orbs too.
Yeah, it was some.
I'm just saying, like, they made it so you could farm red orbs pretty easy in that game, so you didn't have to buy them. I mean, if you buy them, whatever.
Yeah, Blicky join next week.
Yeah,
haven't seen you a bit. Be good to have you on.
See you next week, yes, sir.
But yeah, no, it's like I'm biased.
Next Wednesday. Oh,
I'm biased. Capcom's my favorite game company all time, but this isn't a thing to be complaining about. Like,
yeah, complain about there not being a Mega Man game.
Yeah, right.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Mega Man Legends 4.
How much time we got?
Let's get into it.
We don't got that much time. There's not that much time for my rant on Capcom and Mega Man.
Wait, don't we got like We're 10:30, right? Yeah, we got time, man.
Yeah, let's
We still
stuff
got
to
one
talk
more
about.
topic.
We got one more
Oh yeah, we do.
surprise topic. No, I actually have some fun. But yeah, we got some quick little like rapid fire things. I think we're all in agreement. Dragon's Dogma 2, like it's not a big deal. I honestly think people are just complaining that
I mean, you're gonna get the
take
rage
advantage of
farmers.
people trying to take advantage of the algorithm, their YouTubes, their TikToks, or whatever you post your live streams. It's whatever.
I gotta say it. Oh my god, I gotta say it. It's so scummy. It's so scummy to see a bunch of rage baiting assholes on YouTube take advantage of the algorithm by trying to jump on the train and just drag Dragon's Dogma and various other topics. It's like, I'm getting so sick of it. Every single goddamn time, man.
We call that the grift. And if
I'm
remember,
a Disney fan. I'm used to
that. he's like, I'm used to the abuse. All right, I got this.
Hey man, don't worry.
Destiny
Into the Light is gonna fix everything.
It's in shambles.
It's gonna fix everything.
Yo, when you showed me that, I was like, oh my god.
Speaking of shambles, there's something I noticed recently, and I kind of went back to research to prove my point. Is Guerrilla Games cursed?
Oh, what happened? What did they do?
I'm just saying, put it out there. I'll give you this. I'm just planting the seeds for you, and then I'll show you the tree. I think Guerrilla Games is cursed. Granted, their games do well, but they could do better. Now, hear me out. Let me cook for once. I think the release dates are cursed.
Oh.
Not counting Call of the Mountain, the VR game, because it's not like a big release. But let's go back to Horizon 1. Like everything after Killzone. Let's go back to Horizon
1.
Yeah.
What came out 5 days after Horizon Zero Dawn?
Wasn't it Elden Ring?
Oh, we'll get to Elden Ring. Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that was dumb.
I'm sorry, Breath of
I wouldn't even release the same month as that.
It came out within a week. And speaking of Horizon 2, going with what Loon just said, what came out the week after Horizon Forbidden West? The
Elden Ring.
Game culture changing game of the year came out 6 days after Horizon Forbidden West. And now Forbidden West is released on PC. What is the release surrounded by?
Dragon's Dogma 2.
Dragon's Dogma 2. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth just came out. Rise of the Ronin. Princess Peach Showtime. I think pick either the shittiest dates for releasing these games or they're cursed.
Who is picking the release date and not looking at the competition? First off, to release anything within the month that Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth comes out is kind of crazy. Dragon's Dogma, they can do that because it's Dragon's Dogma 2. But
that has this niche fan. The people that want Dragon's Dogma.
I would argue there's more overlap in Dragon's Dogma and Final Fantasy than there is Horizon and Final Fantasy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I went back and looked. I was like, damn, they picked the shittiest dates for these games coming out. Like, what is like with the Elden Ring one? I was like, y'all should have pushed that up like 2 weeks. Like, I think they still had a day one patch, so they probably couldn't. But I know we talked about crunch before. It's like that game might have needed some crunch to avoid that because all three of these releases could have did better if they weren't surrounded by the literal games of the year on all these releases. Like, let's be honest, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, probably fair contender for being game of the year this year. Elden Ring was game of the year. Breath of the Wild was game of the year. It's like, how do you release all these? How does all three of your big releases / ports come out within a week or 2 weeks of the game of the year? It's crazy.
That was also Starfield's problem too, because Starfield came out sandwiched between sandwiched between like Phantom Liberty and Spider-Man 2.
You think that was Starfield's problem?
That's just Bethesda being Bethesda.
That was a bad move. Like,
that's just Bethesda being Bethesda. They think they can release whatever. Well, actually, no. Fuck that. Starfield came out the same day as Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh yeah, no, that was really dumb.
That was the dumbest. Screw Guerrilla Games. That's the dumbest shared release date.
No,
in history.
no.
Speaking of which, Larian confirmed at least 15 million copies of Baldur's Gate 3 are sold. So, dope. But yeah.
Yo, you know what? You know, you must have a big set of balls to be like, yo, we can compete with Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, people are gonna people are gonna play our game over Baldur's Gate 3. No, they not.
Actually, no, correction. The PS5 release of Baldur's Gate 3, but some people might have waited to get.
That was still not a good idea anyway.
You're still in that window of Baldur's Gate 3. It's like,
yeah.
What do you do?
No.
But no, that was just a funny thing I saw because I saw like, oh, Horizon Forbidden West came out, and I was like, oh, it came out same day Dragon's Dogma, and I was like, wait, hasn't this fucking happened with every Horizon release?
We need the flashback. We need the flashback fucking sound effect in this.
What you said to their credit, Bethesda expected to be Game of the Year material and didn't live up to it. They feel like that. Bethesda's like that for all their games, and
yeah,
a few live up to that Game of the Year hype. Because damn sure Fallout 4 Game of the Year. Skyrim was, I would say, yes.
Fallout 3 was, in my
Fallout
opinion.
3 was. New Vegas should have been, but plagued by bugs on release. But we're neither here nor there. But no, that was a funny thing that I just realized.
I also feel like New Vegas was not promoted as much as 3 was, and I feel like Bethesda did that to slight them.
If rumors are true, this is taken with a grain of salt, and I've seen like quote unquote internal reports from Obsidian and Bethesda. Is the main Fallout team was feeling some type of way that New Vegas was received better done by a smaller studio than most parts of 3, because 3 and New Vegas are still great. I like New Vegas more, but
Same.
They're feeling some way like, damn, how'd they do Fallout better than this with less resources? And it's like, that's what happens. I think Obsidian Studios is a good studio, but that's me.
Yeah. Well, now they're all under the same banner, which is fucking weird.
Well, yeah, they're all on Microsoft now, and getting Outer Worlds 2 next year.
Oh, we are.
We are.
Yeah. They announced Outer Worlds 2 last year. They had the little teaser trailer for it.
And it's gonna end up beating Starfield.
Hey, Goji, you like? I would say you want to join and defend your claim, but we slander Fallout 4 here. Actually, you know what? Actually, hold on. I'll shut this down. There's a new settlement. There's a new settlement that needs your help. Why don't you go do that and come back?
The thing that disappointed me the most out of Fallout 4 is they recycled the same soundtrack from Fallout 3. I was like, oh my god, like y'all didn't think of a whole new soundtrack?
No, why would they?
Just songs that came out during that time.
It's Bethesda. Why would they do that?
Also, have y'all seen the Fallout on I guess Amazon, the trailer?
Wait, is it out already?
Yeah, the trailer.
Oh
yeah,
shit!
the trailers.
No, the Fallout trailer does look good. Like,
it does look good.
Surprise. Like, and Amazon has been kind of like, I'm not gonna say they've been knocking out the park with everything like original, but the big ones have been good. Like, except for Rings of Power. We're not talking about that.
They can still kiss my ass for adding in ads though.
Yes,
that's some bullshit.
Just pay that extra $5 a month, bro. Like, you shouldn't have to do that. I know. Get the fuck out of here. I already paid the extra for no ads on Disney Plus and Hulu. Like,
bro, that shit caught me by surprise. I'm like sitting there watching the new season, the new season of Invincible, and then I get hit with an ad. I'm like, what the fuck? Is that supposed to happen?
Yeah, you gotta update that account.
Hey, quick question. I know Tom probably looking like games on, but Invincible, how many episodes is I guess part 2 of season 2 supposed to have?
Is it gonna be 4 more?
I think
so 6.
No.
Total 8. Because
total 8.
Yeah, part 1 was 4, and then part 2 is supposed to be 4, I believe.
Yeah, it's getting so good.
Fallout 4 is my favorite PS4 game. I've got the platinum for it, and I'll die on the hill. That's a pretty good game.
That's a strong hit to die on, man.
Like, Fallout 4 is not bad. It is not a bad game.
It's just disappointing.
Could have been way better. I bought the damn crazy collector's edition. I got the Pit Boys in my closet somewhere. Like, damn.
Oh, you didn't get the one with the moldy helmet? No, that's 76, wasn't it?
Oh,
I hate fun.
You hate fun?
What?
Apparently. No, man, I am the one who brings the Debbie Downer takes tonight.
So,
But now, like, all right. So I just generally and like, please, Microsoft son, please don't, Papa, don't hit me.
Papa soft. Don't be
Papa
mean.
soft, please don't hit me. But I just have a general disdain for Bethesda games.
I mean, I'm kind of getting to that same thing. I've yet to beat Starfield.
All right, here's my thing. Okay, you ready for this?
Hmm.
If the best thing you can say about a game is that, like, man, the mods are awesome,
Then you have a bad game.
the game isn't great. The community is great.
Skyrim.
You know what? I'm seeing it in my own mind, but I didn't want to say it out into the world. Like, yeah, y'all modding community is amazing.
Yeah, like the people who mod, like the people who mod Elder Scrolls and mod Fallout and mod these games are fucking kings. They're the real heroes of these games. Like, don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I again, going back to what I've said before, I think there's a lot of talent and I think there's a lot of technical skill in these games, and I think they are great sandboxes. But like, a sandbox for me is like, but they're not great games. Like, they're fun toys. Like, I
Bethesda is the best sandbox maker.
yes, like 100%. I have no problem saying that. If you want to, if you wanted to tell me, like, listen, Fallout, if you wanted to tell me, listen, Skyrim is like my favorite sandbox to go play in, right? Yeah, no, I buy that. I 100% buy. I 100% buy that. But like, by example, right? All of the role playing is theater of mind, in my opinion. Like, you can make certain decisions. Like, you yourself have to narrate the decisions you're making in your head. I want to go join the Thieves Guild. That's cool. You can go and do some quests. And now you're part of the Thieves Guild. But like, once you're part of the Thieves Guild, like, is there really, like, do you get random like missions and stuff? I don't know. I haven't gone that far. Like, I haven't actually, like, but like, does it meaningfully change your experience to be part of these different guilds?
Not really.
Not really.
It's like this. It's like the same thing as Skyrim. Like, it's cool having the Mages Guild and like the vampires, or like doing the werewolves once they added all that stuff, and like Dawnguard and stuff like that. But it's like, it didn't really change much. Like, you got some cool spells out of some things, but it's like, did it really overall change the game? Not really. It's like, it's just extra stuff to do.
Like, for me, my big problem with like these kinds of games are like, actually Dragon's Dogma does this, and like that was what made me want to pick it up. Stuff that has urgency in it, like, hey, there's a massive, like, you know, draconic force out there rampaging and causing shit. If I choose to go dick off for 200 hours in game, that should have a consequence.
Oh yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2 has that. Did y'all read about the plague system for your pawns?
What?
No, I did not.
So in Dragon's Dogma 2, there's a system with your pawns. If anyone doesn't know, Dragon's Dogma 1 and 2, you have a specialized pawn. It's your companions that come with you. There's different tiers of them. You get higher level ones. However, your pawns can get, I believe it's called Dragon's Plague.
Yes.
And it causes them to go mad. But if you don't pay attention, you can like rest for the night, and then the NPCs in the town are just murked. Like the vendors will and they can kill quest NPCs. But the vendors will come back. They're the only ones that'll respawn. But if you don't notice your pawns fucked up, because their dialogue changes too. Can I give you a sign? It's like, it's not like, it's like, I ain't feeling too great, boss. It's weird. They'll say like dark shit, and we're like, oh, that's weird. Oh, you so silly. And then like, why is everybody dead? Like, what the hell happened? And then you have to either A, kill your pawn, or dismiss them. It's like,
oh, so it's the equivalent of the friend that decides to hide their fucking zombie bite, and then later on, oh, word, you turned into a zombie?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
like,
oh, you feeling all right? Yeah,
but yeah, like you were saying, consequences, continue time.
Cool.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that like I've never really enjoyed about Bethesda games like Fallout or Skyrim. I think they are very technically, on like a technical level, they're very well designed on a technical level. Like, they are probably worth a lot of the admiration and praise, but like, I just, as a complete package of a game, I just don't think they're that great. But again, like going back to what I said earlier, that's just my opinion. I think they're great sandboxes. And if that's what you're after, and like that is something that gets you hyped, then you should be as hyped whenever you see them coming out as you feel, because that's a valid experience. It just doesn't impact me the same way that it does a lot of people.
Another game
Because
that does
that's not what I'm looking for.
another game does consequences well. Going back to FromSoft for a little bit was Sekiro, which a lot of people doesn't realize this happens in the game. So the game punishes you obviously different ways because you die, you get pissed off. But if you don't get good, eventually Dragon Rot in the game takes over and starts killing NPCs, and it can fuck up your quest lines that you're doing. So eventually, and the game tells you that, and it's like, hey, Dragon Rot, like the more you die, like your curse essence goes out in the world and effectively poisons the NPCs. So if you die to a boss like 20 times, that dude you were just talking to for a quest might not be there when you get back. Like there's ways to get NPCs back, but if the game ain't for you, you might not have some people to talk to in the game. It's like basically what it gets down to it. But yeah, like there's
a couple NPCs.
If you die a whole lot, yeah. Did you die a whole lot?
But yeah, no, I completely agree. None of these open world games, like even Elden Ring doesn't have like, it has consequences. Like you can kill any NPC in Elden Ring, and then you lose out on potential spells that give you armor, weapons, whatever. So, but the thing is, like in those instances, typically you have to inflict the consequence yourself. There's nothing like passively going on. Like, let's say I decide to go like the Frenzied Flame ending. It's like I know I'm getting the ending that's destroying the world. It's like it's not a consequence. Yeah. I'm actively choosing to go this path. Like it's not a surprise that's popping up.
There's so I haven't actually run the module yet. I want to pick it up at some point, but Curse of Strahd, I think, has something kind of what I'm looking for. Actually, not even Curse of Strahd. I think maybe Waterdeep. But there's D&D modules that have kind of what I'm looking for, where it's just like, I would like it if there was just like hard built into the games. Like if at this hour point something doesn't happen, then you have like some trees of like things could happen. So it's like, hey, there's a dragon out there rampaging. Cool, you took 50 hours to get here. That town that you were going to go to, yeah, that's nice. It's been burnt down, and now there's a vendor that you can't have access to or something. Like
that. You thinking Dead Rising?
I have to. Yeah, I gotta play that.
Dead Rising had that sort of shit where time was crucial in that game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I have played that. Yeah, exactly. Like stuff like that. Could you imagine like if time felt more important in these open world games? Where I'm not saying like it needs to always feel important, but like so long as you have that main story that's going on, that should feel more important. And then after you've completed the main objective in the game, it opens up into being just a sandbox, and you live your day-to-day life and you do whatever you want. But like,
game gave me anxiety.
Yeah, it just feels like we need to. It just feels like those kinds of things would make it more impactful for me. And maybe there's mods out there that can do it, but again, that goes back to I have to find a mod for it.
And you shouldn't have to.
I feel like developers are, for some reason, like afraid to put things like that in the game because of the, I don't want to say a plague of gaming. I feel like there's too many entitled people playing games that feel like.
I've been saying this for a while now.
I'm trying to think of the best way to word it. It's like, obviously we all want our games to respect our time, but it's like, we're not obligated to not have some kind of like conflict of choice in game or something like that. Like there's no like actual conflict of choice in most games we play these days.
There's a group of people out there, to kind of add onto this. There's a group of people out there that believe that every game should be able to and should be appealing to every single person that ever sets their eyes on it. They should feel like they can play through just about anything and have the perfect experience they want. That's not reality. Like, there should be room for games like this where where Todd Howard likes to call his games a simulation. Like, he likes to believe that he's simulating the real world in some way. Like, that's what he views Skyrim as. He views it as like a simulation. And if he wants to view it as a simulation, then things like this need to happen. And people need to accept that.
Yeah, I mean, not every game is supposed to be for everyone. Like y'all have known me decades. I'm fairly above average at fighting games in general, but I can't play Tag Fighters. I can't play DBZ Fighters. I can't play Marvel vs. Capcom. I've just accepted that.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be good at those games. I am adequate to like with certain characters, but I'm never going to be good. I'm
adequate in a certain space.
Like Tekken, Street Fighter, King of Fighters, like boom, I got those all day. Like, but I'm not good at Tag Fighters. Maybe, hopefully, Project. Oh god, what?
Project L.
I forget the stupid name they made.
Yeah, they changed it, and
I forget
the
name.
new name was worse than the old one.
Yeah, like whenever that comes out, maybe that'll be different because it's just single tag, like OG, like Marvel vs. Capcom was. But like, who knows? But
it's like simplified button scheme too.
Yeah, but it's like, I'm not looking forward to it because it's like I ain't built for Tag Fighters. I don't know why. Like my brain to the fingers.
It's a lot to handle.
My brain to the fingers to the sticks don't work.
So Dragon Ball Z Fighter wasn't your type of.
No, like I learned the system, but like I couldn't like implement it to get to that next skill level. Like it just wasn't clicking. It was like I need something more traditional, like in that regard. Like I just need
been, in my opinion, this is my opinion. It should have been more like Guilty Gear, just 1-on-1.
Yeah,
in
like I can play Guilty Gear, I can play Grind Blue, I can play all these I can play Under Night, I can play all these 1v1 flashy games, but Tag Fighters, I'm not. They don't click.
This just made me realize why I prefer Marvel superheroes over Marvel vs. Capcom.
Because it's 1-on-1.
Yeah, that's exactly why. Like, just give me another one of those. I don't have to do
X-Men vs. Street Fighter. It's like 1-on-1. It's like,
yeah, fucking. You remember when Royce came over your house and whooped my ass?
And dog walked all of us Marvel vs.
Capcom 2, and I was like, I don't like this game no more. He made me hate Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I've never had that happen before. I was like, yeah, we're gonna play Marvel 2. Oh man, I love Marvel 2. After we were done, I was like, I don't like Marvel 2 no more.
Yeah, when I played him the first time, I was like, I am not built for this game. Because we were playing on the Dreamcast like all the time. We thought like, oh yeah, this is fun as shit. Then we found someone who could actually play the goddamn game. Like, I learned a lesson today.
Yeah,
this is not for me. It's like,
it was the most humbling experience I've had in gaming. The most humbling.
I played my friend called Coop.
I played him in Guilty Gear once.
Oh, you played against him?
Guilty Gear?
Oh, you played him in Guilty Gear?
Wait. I'm trying to think if it was Guilty Gear.
Blaze Blue? Yeah.
It was Blaze Blue.
Blaze Blue.
I think it was Blaze Blue. And I got his health down to like a certain percentage. I was like, okay, cool.
Man,
and then he fucked me up.
Yeah.
I think he didn't like I got his health down to a certain percentage. Because then it's like, oh, okay, say less. You know, sit forward meme. That happened. Where the dude's just like sitting back in his chair and then
just lean in. It's like,
yeah. I think Coop did the lean.
I'm not gonna lie, I still do that to people in Smash Brothers when they talk shit. Because I was at an anime convention last year and I talking about my buddy's friend came to the room. We were just sitting there. We had the Switch set up. He's like, "Oh, y'all playing Smash?" Like, "Yeah, we play." He's like, "I'm pretty good at Smash." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "Nah, I think how much you play?" I was like, "I've dabbled in some Smash in my time,
a little bit."
He's like, I think I can beat you. I was like, I was sitting there like Hustle knows the Higgins twins, like, and I play with them like all the time, and we just all kind of looked at each other like. It's like, you don't know we went to Evo for this. And it's like, I was like, okay, which character you want me to play? Like play one of your weaker ones. Like, all right, I'll play Terry. And he just barely beat my Terry. And it's like, all right, you want my actual main? He's like, yeah, Falcon. Just utterly destroyed. I'm like, I told you I get down in this game, man.
He said, "I think I could beat you." I don't think you want to say that to somebody that you ain't played in the game before.
It's like
Usually,
Listen,
like,
man. If
when I
you're
played
in the
Coop, I didn't say it to him. When I played Coop, I didn't say that to him. Go
okay,
ahead.
no, I never talk shit in fighting games, so like ever. Like even if like I thrash somebody, but it's just like the only ones I like defend myself in is like I think I take your smash. So I was like, I played thousands of hours of this game, man, across going back to 64, man. Like this is like one of my top games I know how to play. But I'll play you. I'm not gonna talk shit. I'm just like letting you know. And then
yeah, it's real cute that you think you can do something.
Mm-hmm.
and it's like then you look, you had to learn the hard way. But it was a good match.
Win, lose, or draw. Oh shit.
Yeah, like if somebody wants to talk shit to me about Third Strike, like, oh, okay, you can feel free to if you want.
Oh
Don't
god,
worry, Blick. I'm terrible at MVC too.
I think all of us here are terrible at Marvel's Capcom.
No, Third Strike though, that's a different story. Like,
Still
please
go.
don't do it to yourself.
Give me another Bloody Roar, man. That's what I want. That's all I want.
That's been a rumor circulating for years, though.
I don't even know who owns their rights. It was freaking
Hudson.
Hudson stuff, and then I don't even know who owns them now.
Either Konami or I think Konami owns
Konami
it.
owns them now. We ain't never getting no damn.
Yeah, I mean,
Bloody Roar.
What's going on with them? Are they
Well,
doing
apparently,
stuff?
Metal Gear Solid 6 is coming out. That's something else you can talk about. They announced that the other day. They teased it. It's in production, but it's like,
oh God,
you want me to?
really?
Yeah, they teased it a couple weeks ago, and it's just like, you want me to trust y'all to make Metal Gear Solid 6 after A, Kojima's not working on it. B, y'all screwed over Kojima. And C, you really expect me to have fucking faith in y'all making Metal Gear Solid 6 after all this time? When did Phantom Pain come out? 2015?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I don't trust y'all. Like, nope. I have no faith in that game whatsoever.
Mm-mm. Oh, but it'll be fine because David Hayter's back as the voice of Snake, I guess.
I mean, I'm still on the fence whether or not I like David Hayter because he wrote X-Men: The Last Stand. So,
What are you talking about? That movie is cinema.
But
one of the few times I cried. One of the few times I wanted to cry in a movie theater, and not because the movie was sad.
true, but he was in Guyver 2, so I have to kind of like, damn.
Nobody watched
I did
Guyver
like
2. They only
Guyver-
watched Guyver 1.
Wait, what'd you say?
Nobody watched Guyver 2. They only watched Guyver 1.
Guyver 2 had the Piper fights though.
Yeah.
Then you have the fight against the Zoonoid Guyver at the end, which was dope as shit.
But you don't got Mark Hamill, though.
That is very true. That is actually very true.
Boom. Roasted.
And bet you ain't nobody in chat seen the Guyver 1 and 2, the live action.
I still got my Guyver messenger
One.
bag that I got at New York Comic Con years ago. Like, the first year of New York Comic Con, I still got that bag downstairs.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Such a great movie, too. And no one realizes that is an anime adaptation.
Yep.
No one knows that. No one knows that. They haven't done shit with that series in a long time, too.
Yes, the Dragon's Dogma anime Blicky was good on Netflix. People should watch that.
I did not watch. I need to watch that.
That
I
shit
meant
was good.
It was.
It's on.
good. Yeah.
I did get caught up on. I'm still far behind in Castlevania. I apologize.
I've been telling y'all about
It's the shortest season.
Castlevania.
The Richter season? Just watch it.
Oh my god. It's so good.
I gotta watch it for the one chick that's in it.
The
Yeah,
chick
you gotta watch it.
black chick.
Mm-hmm. I was like, God damn.
I mean, Adi Shankar can do whatever the hell he wants to do at this point with adaptations because Castlevania was dope. Nocturne was dope. He's working on the Devil May Cry show. Apparently, he's also working on Assassin's Creed, and he's working on a Hyper Light Drifter animated show. And I'm like,
know what? I have no faith in nothing in Assassin's Creed.
I trust him with it.
I trust him. It's an animated adaptation, though. So that's what I mean. Like, I trust this.
Adaptation of what? What is the
They didn't-
storyline of?
They didn't confirm. They didn't confirm where in the series or what.
But it's the same guy who did Castlevania, so I trust him.
Well, he's not directing. He's executive producer, so he still has a lot of creative control, but he's not directing it.
But he is directing Devil May Cry.
Yeah, he's showrunning.
Thank God.
Doing the story, showrunner and executive producer for Devil May Cry.
God, man. Woo!
I think he's also working on a PUBG show, if I remember right. He's just doing all this random ass shit.
If you look at the one video where he was showing Devil May Cry, I still think that all those things that are on his desk in his office are like little hints of shit he's gonna be doing.
Yeah, because he had Devil May Cry on there,
which he prominently shows the fucking Berserk manga, and I'm just like, please tell me he's gonna do Berserk. Please tell me. I need a good adaptation before I die. Okay.
I mean, we have the good one. It was one in the 90s. and that's all we going. That's all we gonna get.
But it doesn't go. But it's only the golden age arc though.
I
need the Black Swordsman arc animated well. Please, just give me that before I die.
And with how some of these like mangakas are, like obviously with them passing away, like Miura's passed away. We just had Toriyama, and it's like it sucks because like Tagashi Hunter x Hunter has been having issues for years. Even though I'm not a Hunter x Hunter fan, I'm like, even though I don't like the series, I still think y'all deserve an ending. Y'all been in it. Y'all been in the trenches for so long, getting new manga release, chapter releases like 10 years apart. It's crazy.
That's why I want Oda to hurry up and finish One Piece, bro. Like, please.
I need One Piece to finish before we get into World War III. That's all I need.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
That's all.
At least with Bleach fans, we got an ending.
Bleach. There was another arc after 1,000-Year Blood War.
You mean the one with his son?
No. Bleach something of hell, whatever. What is it called? The hell is it called?
You're talking about.
I have to look it up. There's an arc after 1,000-Year Blood War, and I'm blanking on the name. That they just.
How new is that? But there is literally the end where they show like his kid, and then it's like Ruki's kid.
Yeah.
So
oh yeah.
As long as they don't do a Baruto, because oh my god, I do not want to see that shit.
Oh, it's not a full arc. It's called the Hell arc. It's like a little epilogue arc they did after.
Right.
So it's not a full arc. My mistake.
As long as they just leave that shit as is, and we don't see no motherfucking Baruto type stuff, because ain't nobody asked for that. Nobody did.
Naruto ended off fine. We did not need a sequel series. Like they could have just did the prequel OVAs they were talking about just to like explain the world. But we just like, hey, let's give Naruto's son. Ain't nobody asked for this. Can we please stop?
They don't even know what to do. They don't know what to do. They don't even know what to do in the show now. Now we just got Sasuke fighting dinosaurs and shit. I'm like,
because that's all that's stupid. Like the Boruto anime is so much filler because like
this is so dumb.
You can read through all the Boruto in like an afternoon. There's not that many chapters. Like,
and isn't it now he's like turning evil
because he has Momoshiki like comma like spear, and it's stupid. Like I'm over ninjas from space that randomly take over bodies. Like I'm over it. Like,
yeah, I think we already had that once before, and that was not exactly, in my opinion, not a highlight. I was just like, oh wow, this arc is going really
bad.
I'm gonna turn this shit off now.
I guess one of the last things, one of the last rumors I can end us off on, and don't know if I'm hyped for if it's true. I don't think it's true, but the rumor is that Persona 6 might be a timed exclusive launch for the next Switch, quote unquote. It's a very vague rumor. And I was like, I don't know if that will work. They've been very securely, for the most part, securely on Sony, at least for Persona. And they've been doing Shin Megami Tensei 5 came out on the Switch first, and then now it's getting ported. So it's like,
how much money did Nintendo throw at Atlas and Sega for that one?
To be fair, they've been doing that for a long time. Because remember, most Shin Megami Tensei games are strictly coming out on Nintendo consoles.
Oh yeah, it wasn't 5.
5 was on the Switch exclusive, and now it's getting ported to PS5 in July, something like that.
Right.
But everything else, like like Devil Survivor, like Overclock Remix, like all these other ones were Nintendo. So it wouldn't be completely out of the question for Persona 6 to be a timed exclusive on the Switch Pro, Switch 2, whatever you want to call it.
This is why the Switch is selling out like crazy in Japan still. This is exactly why.
I would not like that.
Me neither.
I don't touch my Switch. I have no intentions of touching my Switch again. I have a Steam Deck.
The last game I played on my Switch was that Mario RPG remake. I think it
I
was.
mean, I need to get that. That's another one on the list I need to buy.
That was a good remake because they also added all new boss fights for after you beat the game and shit.
Oh shit!
Maybe I'll pick up an OLED if the Switch 2 doesn't get announced soon. I feel like I've been hearing rumors of a Switch 2 for like 3 years now. So
Bro, more than 3, at least like 5 or 6 now.
Maybe I'll pick up an OLED this year and give it a shot because I do want to pick up the Mario RPG remake.
Yeah, I need to. I've been dying to play that game for the longest time.
Yeah,
and
like
full remake.
It's cool because after you beat Smithy, like, and also the funny thing about Mario RPG remake, like, I don't remember that game being that easy in the end game, but I did like get most of the items. But I was like, I'm just murking through all these enemies, which is kind of hilarious. I think they buff your damage in some part, which doesn't really help you in like the secret boss fights because when you beat the game, you can fight Culex again, you can fight Johnny again, you can fight basically all the major bosses, and they all have different mechanics and shit like that, which is cool.
You know what we need? Earthbound remake.
You know, I want that.
I would
more than like
I would
more
die.
than any RPG like
just give me that
in general. I need that. Also, although I'm happy we're getting that Grande collection in like 2 months.
We are?
Yep.
Oh shit. I should call up Nintendo and be like, Nintendo, do you not like money? What's wrong with you? Do you not like money? You know what would make you a lot of money? Earthbound remake. Do it. Do it. Make an Earthbound remake from the ground up. All nice graphics and shit.
Just give me Mother 3 on the virtual console. Just give me that first. Like you got Golden Sun on there. Give me Mother 3.
And the buns ass Mother 1. Bro, that game is literally that game is RNG the game.
It is rough to play. Well, no, RNG the game is OG Final Fantasy 2.
True. I mean,
your stats randomly go up during boss fights. What do you mean? I don't just level up? No, I mean your strength will randomly go up when you're fighting enemies. It's like that's cool, I guess. So I just grind.
Mother 1, it's like the first minute that I stepped out the house, I died. I was like, what the fuck? Like, how are you supposed to even play this game? I stepped out, got bombed by an enemy.
Nintendo's got a lot of stuff to do. I don't think there's any big Nintendo games coming out this year. Besides Princess Peach comes out. Just came out. And
I don't think they announced anything else, right? They may have a sneak announcement. Maybe.
You got Princess Peach Showtime. Just came out. Or it comes out tomorrow or whatever. I think it just came. Or it comes out Friday. I don't remember.
It looks good.
Oh, 1,000 Year Door remake comes out May. What
about fall?
That's what I'm looking. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD comes out June. That looks like it's it. As far as they haven't really announced fall stuff yet.
Oh yeah, we won't get that until like we're gearing towards summer.
Oh yeah, well they're gonna do another late spring, early summer direct and be like, get these games now or in September.
I'm mad you mimicked the voice that well.
What the fucking treehouse announcer voice? Like, I watched enough directs in my time. I know how to do the voice. I'm
telling you, this is the future now. Just directs for every single company and no longer anything with like fucking E3 because E3 is dead in the water.
I'm not gonna lie. Not getting to cross off my bucket list ever sucks.
Yeah, now that we're in media, it would have been great to have an E3.
But I am crossing up my bucket list in a week and a half because I'm going to that Mania. So.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, just a Sunday night, not both. Those tickets are ridiculous. Like I just
Yeah, I heard, man.
I just splurged and I was like, I have to go. It's down the street.
Yeah.
But it's that time. It's 10:30. And I hope everyone enjoyed the show. Well, thank everybody for joining tonight. I hope I was a good fill-in for Mr. Tone, who'll be back next week, I'm assuming. Hope everyone's having a good holidays. Looking forward to being here with y'all for some more episodes in the future, talk about more games, some more start but nonsense. And this is our crew. We got Mr. Hustle. Got Time Traveling.
Yeah.
We got Tech Wizard Loon. And as I said, I was your host this week, Rajan X. Remember, to achieve your goals, sometimes all you got to do is press the start button. Peace out, everybody. Have a good night.
Ciao.
See you next week. Same bat time. Same bat